Hi everyone, welcome. This is my Peter's English podcast, and this is Peep, picture in picture mode storytelling episode about Viera the Vampire Girl. Yes, people, I'm so happy to see you. I have a lot of energy after yesterday's writing my chapter 14 of season 3 of my novel Viera the Vampire Girl Diary, and yes, I organized my novel into my OneDrive where I have my every chapter of my novel, The Vampire Diary. And without further ado, let's start. But Peter, don't forget to read your slogan, the official slogan of Peter's English podcast. And I like to read because it's funny. And Peter, slow down. Okay, let's start. Learn English, be successful, change your life, open a lot of doors, create your own podcast, write your own novel. You don't need to be talented because learning because learning English is for everyone. Yeah, people. Yes, we can. After after good breakfast, we can start. Don't worry. And I think I'm okay. Everything is online. And okay, let's start. Peter, this is your usual problem with your eating. Why you have to eat something before your live stream? Because I have to. Okay, let's start. Because I'm alive. Yeah. Okay. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Okay. Simply, let's start. Okay, people, let's start. This is chapter 14 of season 3 of my own novel. We are the Vampire Diary, London in shock. Viera launches wild reality show. It will be a big fun with the bad ending, but don't worry, it's only the story only continues and and everything will be fine in the next chapters. Don't worry. Let's because I like good endings. Let's start. This is people my own story. Chapter 14, London in shock. Viera launches wild reality show. Viera's diary entry. It was Sunday, a typically rainy London day. In the house of the Bennet family, Thomas had been playing football on his console all day, but suddenly, out of nowhere, his mother, Mrs. Bennet, appeared. Son, you and your stupid games. You should get married instead. What will become of you when I'm gone? Who will cook for you, wash for you, clean for you, and take care of your dirty backside? If you were at least a little capable, the vampire girl Viera could have been your wife, but no. Thomas only shook his head nervously and gave her a frightened look. But Mom, you understand this as much as a chicken understands beer. Viera doesn't want me. Second, she's a blood-hungry vampire. And third, I don't want to get married anyway. Mrs. Bennet threw her hands in the air and began to lament. What have I lived to see? This is the inheritance your father left me. When will I when will I ever play with grandchildren? All the neighbors laugh at me and gossip behind my back that my son probably likes boys. Leave that misery and go find yourself a wife immediately. Annoyed, Thomas turned off the game, threw the controller on the floor, and quietly went to his room to sleep. At midnight, he had a nightmare that someone was watching him in his room. Thomas muttered to himself, It's just a nightmare, boy. Go back to sleep. And unfortunately, it wasn't a nightmare at all. A dark figure was actually standing over him, examining him with great interest. Terrified, Thomas screamed so loudly it could have woken all of London, when suddenly the apparition 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 spoke. What is it? Why are you screaming? Don't you recognize me? It's me, your friend, Viera Orsak, the vampire from Eastern Europe. Here, have some cold water. Viera said this and splashed him with cold water for her own amusement, which only frightened Thomas even more. Viera just shook her head and calmed him with his aura, saying, Now hush, Thomas Bennet. You're safe among your friends. At least until I get a taste for you. Calm down. I'm only joking. Thomas finally relaxed and looked at her in disbelief. Viera, you and your stupid jokes. I could have had a heart attack. Couldn't you have some? Um, couldn't you have come earlier? Viera looked at him in surprise and then started shouting, "You rude dog! Instead of being happy that a beautiful vampire visited you in the middle of the night, you're complaining!" Thomas glared at her angrily. "You don't want me as your boyfriend. I didn't invite you for a polite visit. What do you want here?" Out of nowhere, Viera was struck by wild inspiration and immediately launched into a professional speech. "I couldn't fall asleep tonight, and suddenly I got a perfect idea that I had to tell you right here and now." Thomas gave her a mischievous smile and interrupted. "Virka, don't say anything. Let me guess, you finally realized how handsome I am, and now you want me as your boyfriend." Vera shot him an aggressive look, her eyes glowing red. "No, no, you narcissist. I recently launched my new podcast, the Dark Organization podcast. I want to do a live stream show on the internet from our bar. What do you think? We could both get famous. Please, Kitty." Thomas smiled at her and said, "Only if you go on a date with me." Vera glared at him again, her eyes red, baring her sharp fangs, and Thomas immediately squeaked in fear. "All right, I agree. I was only joking." Vera gave him a shy smile and said as she left, "Thank you, Kitty. As a reward, I'll find you another beautiful vampire girl who will suck your nerves instead." The next day, on Monday, Thomas Bennett, bored to death, arrived at work at his typical English pub when suddenly he was jolted awake by cameras everywhere, already connected to the internet and streaming live. Thomas was completely thrown off and furious and immediately created a proper scene. Viera, get over here. What is all this supposed to mean?" Viera only gave him a shy kiss on the forehead, and with a mischievous smile on her face, she began showing off during the live broadcast. "My charming boss has just arrived at work. By the way, ladies, he's looking for a girlfriend. And boys, I'm hopelessly taken. I'm in love with my Peter. Hands off him, girls." Thomas turned bright red and quickly escaped out of camera range into his tiny office. Vera was thoroughly amused by his reaction. "Isn't he adorable? And now, my beauties, we're entering the VIP area, the kitchen where only the best work." Vera moved into the pub kitchen where her boyfriend Peter was working with his colleagues. Two young Slovak girls, Simona and Veronika, were cooking soup. A tall, beautiful Gothic vampire, Elena from Romania, was pressed up against Vera's boyfriend Peter, together with another beautiful vampire, a blonde with a long hair, Anastasia from Ukraine. Both vampires were gently showing him how to cut carrots, clinging to him sweetly. Right then, Viera, their boss at work and in private, marched jealously toward the two beauties live on the internet and chased them away from their object of admiration, Peter, saying, "Peter, you're cheating me on me live on camera right behind my back. And you too, vampires, will get what's coming to you. Gentlemen, my beautiful vampires, Elena and Anastasia, are still single. Hurry up and contact them before I marry them off." Peter quickly tried to save his romantic relationship with Viera. "Sweetheart, it's not my fault. These two just latch onto me and won't leave me alone." Simona and Veronica only giggled and couldn't resist adding their comments. "Boss, Peter is clearly lying. He obviously enjoys being surrounded by beautiful girls." Elena and Anastasia tried to show off for the camera and boldly stood their ground. Elena especially stood up to her boss face to face and dared to make a cheeky remark. "Boss, since when is it forbidden to talk to guys? Why the jealousy? Don't you trust your own boyfriend? Just wait until he finds out I'm more of a woman than you are." Vera was so furious she began transforming into a beast, but suddenly her boss Thomas calmed her down. "Vera, customers are waiting for their draft beer. Back to work, now." Vera shot a hostile look at the rival. "I hope you're joking." Elena only laughed and gave Vera a kiss. "If only you could see yourself in the mirror. Of course I wouldn't steal my goddess boyfriend. We were just having fun, right, Anya? We love flirting with guys." Vera decided to move behind the bar instead when she suddenly noticed Peter's brother, Palo, sitting at the counter in the crowded pub. Hello, Vera. Good to see you, girl. How are you? And how's your sister Lucia? Vera answered in surprise. Palo, I definitely didn't expect to see you here. Since when are you interested in girls? You dumped my sister for your career. You were ashamed of her because she's a vampire, you beast. Vera winked at her and said, I changed my mind. I realized I'm in love with you. Vera touched him playfully and spoke him into the cameras around them. Keep dreaming. I love enjoying life with men, but I would never hurt Peter because I love him. Now get lost, you devil, while I'm still being nice. Suddenly, Pavel pulled out his wallet and placed 120 euros in her hands. This money is for developing your business, your famous organization. If you give me 2 hours of your work time, have a glass of wine. Otherwise, you won't get the money. Vera realized she had a chance to earn quick cash, so she silently drank a glass of wine. Later, she drank 3 more, which hit her heart. With a victorious grin, Pavel said, here's another 120 euros if you give me a proper kiss. Completely drunk, Vera gave him a big kiss without hesitation and then sat right on his lap, shocking the entire pub while the cameras captured everything. That's 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 when Vera unleashed total chaos. Everyone get on the tables and dance. She grabbed Palo by the hand, pulled him onto a table, and started dancing with him while all the guests danced on the tables together. Vera snuggled up to Palo, while Pavel carefully watched to make sure that the cameras were filming them. Girls, look! They're having fun in the bar. Everyone's dancing on the tables. Simona reported from the kitchen after noticing the situation. Everyone came out from the kitchen to see what was happening in the bar, and that's when Peter, completely shocked, together with the other girls, caught Vera totally drunk, sitting on his brother's Palio's lap, kissing him passionately. Pavel, completely drunk, shouted triumphantly, At least I've humiliated my stupid brother, who was always the black sheep of the family. His famous, beautiful vampire Vera is sitting on my lap, totally drunk, and she's granting my every wish. I wish live on the internet. Good thing that stupid hand of yours install cameras everywhere. Just imagine, for money she's capable of anything. The whole world can see how perverted vampires are. Just get her drunk enough and she'd be capable of anything. Just watch, people, how dangerous a vampire is. Especially Viera. She corrupts good morals. For money she'll do anything. I put horns on my brother thanks to myself. Look, little brother, how much money I got from rich vampires who hate that cow of yours. For a secret mission to turn Vera into an insatiable beast. Finally, the whole world will hate her. Peter completely lost control. He immediately snapped back at his brother with a sharp reply. Thank you, brother, for destroying my life. You're capable of anything for money. You'll pay for this. The girl stopped Peter at the last moment before he did something stupid. While Vera and brother and Pavel together with the other customers remained laying on the tables, completely drunk. There was spilled alcohol all over the floor. Pure hell! Peter's whole world suddenly collapsed. His girlfriend had been unfaithful to him live on the internet, which completely broke his heart. He cried quietly in the arms of the vampire Elena, who just as shocked tried to calm Peter down together with the other girls. Peter shouted straight into the camera, It's over, you beast! You deserve me! You don't deserve me! All you know how to do is to give um, all you know how to do is give orders, nothing more. A person has to do everything according to your instructions. I have to live my life by your rules. It's over. I don't want to see any women ever again. Elena calmed Peter using her aura and carried him straight to her flat because Peter didn't want to return to the shared apartment he had with Viera. The other girl stopped the live stream and started cleaning the bar. Thomas Bennett, who had been afraid of Viera's drunken behavior, only came out now that it was all over. He had been hiding in his office. Only now did he start lamenting. My bar won't survive this kind of humiliation. What's going to happen to us? Why did I ever hire that vampire? I regret it now. Anastasia spoke up. What's done is done. I'm a vampire too, you dog. Don't make me angry. Come and help us instead. Thomas quietly helped his employees clean the bar. Elena tried to help Peter, but he saw only a beast in her. He didn't want to see any woman at all. When they finished cleaning the bar, Anastasia and Elena carried Vera to her flat and carefully laid her on the bed, just in case they guarded her until she sobered up. When Vera finally became sober, completely shocked, she couldn't believe where she was. For the love of God, where am I? What happened? Elena and Anastasia played the recording of the entire live stream for Vera all the way to the bitter, humiliating end. Only now did Vera realize what had actually happened. She felt so terribly sorry that she lost all the confidence she once had. Out of nowhere, her dark self spoke up, mocking her. Anastasia and Elena watched in shock as Vera started talking to herself. Vera, that was perfect entertainment. That's the truth. So this is how your leadership ended. Without me, you're nothing. Live on camera, for money, you made a fool of yourself. Now the whole world hates you. Look at the comment online. People are creating an anti-vampire organization with Palo at the front. They're protesting against vampires in general. With tears in her eyes, Vera answered shyly, "You were right the whole time. I'll never try to push you away again." And then Anastasia watched in fear as Vera continued talking to herself. They quickly tried to understand what was happening to their goddess. "Vera, why on earth are you talking to yourself?" Vera answered by quoting her dark self. "I didn't listen to the good advice of my dark side, and I paid for it. And I paid for it cruelly. I lost everything. From now on, I won't take a single step without my dark self." But vampire still didn't understand what was happening until suddenly AI Diana appeared out of nowhere. The vampires told her everything they had seen. AI Diana replied, based on what you've told me, my explanation for the vampire world is this. According to the ancient sources, the strongest vampire beings can experience problems with their abilities during difficult times, which I've just confirmed online. Our Vera has gone through indescribable horrors, which greatly strengthened her dark self. Her dark self now completely controls her and will bring unimaginable chaos. Vera needs the support of her boyfriend Peter, or we will lose her forever. Her dark self will turn her into a night predator, a parasite hunter for money and the emotions of men. We must stop this at all costs, because with her power, no one will be able to stop her. The dark organization will be led by a council which will have full authority over its operations. Girls, you must help me. As a reward, you will get a handsome man. The vampires agreed enthusiastically. To be continued. Okay, people, I think that this, and I don't know if you uh, hear that, but it was my mouse. My mouse is very old, and I think I want to tell you simply that my mouse was removing the whole time from my from my laptop, and I think it's the mouse because I used this USB-C, I mean USB-A of my laptop without problems until now, and I think that that I need to buy a new mouse maybe, but who cares? I don't know if you if you could hear these noises. And this is the main reason why I had problems with the reading because but it was funny and all. And now with my vomit reaction again because I eat a good breakfast. It was so funny, everything and all. But I did it again. Okay, people, that's it. Uh, Thank you for watching. Thank you for your listening. And it was. I have to tell you again. It was so funny when when my mouse made a noise every few seconds. Perfect, perfect interruption. But I don't know if you could hear it. I hope not. But who cares? Who cares? Who cares, Peter, about your Peter's English podcast and all? No one. Okay, people. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And let's read my slogan. Learn English, be successful, change your life. Change your life. Open a lot of doors. Create your own podcast. Write your own novel. You don't need to be talented because learning English is for everyone. Okay, people. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I want to tell you bye-bye.